Hello and welcome everyone. This is Blackadder at Blackadder's Place, and I welcome you to our today's second session. Just kind of got tangled in there a bit, but nonetheless, you're gonna be right about now going back to some Age of Empires 2, the same as yesterday, as the Blue Carbon Cup by Weber and Watermelon Hero is actually on the way, and on the way with round of 32 match between Mununez and Young Panda. So you're gonna be having another best of 3 here to be played between the players. No, and we are going to be, as you can see, playing as the first map on Okavango, which is a kind of map that we already have had in some previous tournament, and we're looking at the maps yesterday and the overall kind of like the list of them, who created them and whatnot. You can find all of that also at AoE Zone if you are interested, or potentially of course on the tournament Discord if you're gonna be curious about that. But well, as you can see, Okavango is gonna be bringing us a decent amount of gold right next to the base. Obviously the position here is not entirely the most ideal that it can be, but the gold mines are just like, oh well, plenty of them right next to the base. As you can see, the stone is also not gonna be lagging behind too seriously much, as the civilization for Young Panda will be Mongols, and well, on the other side for Mununez, he's gonna be playing with the Portuguese. Again, you are having draft of the maps. You're gonna be looking at that in a moment. But for the civilizations, you are having free hidden pig here in the tournament, which is quite nice, kind of like a change of pace from all the drafts and whatnot. So we'll see how the players are gonna be, well, enjoying that today. So random monkeys, but they're of course not gonna be entirely relevant. This is though gonna be very much relevant. You can see 400 times 5. So that's gonna be 2000 food right here. On top of it, even some wild boars. Oh, that's a tons of food. And the lions and the crocodiles, they apparently do not have any kind of meat on them. Maybe at maximum can be working as some kind of trophies on somebody's wall, but that's the max. And on the other side, as you can see, also gonna be pushing a few zebras here back home. That will be Mununez, therefore, as you mentioned, with the ports. Gonna be, of course, having a bit of a challenging map as far as the walling goes, considering the baobabs. And I can say now the overall kind of like setting for the wood lines are gonna be quite a bit spread out. So the walling is gonna be quite a bit difficult, and that's gonna be of course inviting a bit of an aggressive play. And of course I'm liking from Young Panda the Mongols. Now if he's gonna be able to get into the corner, which frankly isn't too far away from him. Can say now that here the bottom one is gonna be somewhat devoid of any fun here for Mununez. He's gonna be having the like his extra animals all the way here to the right. Okay, that's this. Wait, what? So you're gonna be having 3. Oh, that's gonna be one group into the middle and another one on the left, so there are actually tons of them. I kinda thought this is gonna be a bit rarer, but okay, I'm starting to see more and more of reason for the Mongols, for the hunt bonus of course. But yeah, let's see how well it's gonna be able to utilize it, as in the meantime 16 villages each, probably gonna be getting close to advance, but I guess it's still at least a bit of time for us to have a look on the draft. Let me right now look at that. If I can show you properly what's up. Also from yesterday, of course, edit also the command into for the blue cup. So exclamation mark blue into the chat. I'm gonna be getting all the info for the tournament. But you can right about now see that for the maps, we're gonna be having home map for Nunez or Mununez Delta, and that we do have for Young Panda. He has chosen Lagoon and Okavango, as we are starting choosing. Okavango is the last one to begin on, but Lagoon is the map that we have seen yesterday between freaking Andy and Salad Escape, and that provided quite a bit of a banger of a game. 1 hour and a half, or how long was it? So definitely recommend it if you haven't watched that. Quite a bit worthwhile to engage in, as you of course gonna be having the starting scouting junks that can be used for the trading, but yeah, well, you would have to be having the dogs for that, and you can see it on the shallows here. And the hybrid terrain, you really don't have any kind of fish, so the dogs are going to be, I don't want to necessarily say like a mood thing, because you can still use them to a pretty good effect to actually attack the enemy. Like for example, the Lagoon is especially made for that. But well, I guess you're gonna be having to wait and see what the players are gonna be having as a specific plan. So 2018 difference in the advance is approximately those 2 villages. You can see some 43%. So that seems to be somewhat fit in. You're gonna be there for not having any kind of delay on that yet. And overall, Mununez should be somewhat of a favorite for the tournament, or for the match, let's say. For the tournament, we will be going a bit too far, considering there are players like, for example, Dogao and fire. And freaking Andy. And Acro. And all kinds of others actually playing here. But well, moving forward, and that will be... Okay, let's gonna switch over. Unfortunately, again, the hotkeys are not working. I'm gonna really have to... I looked into the patch notes, and there wasn't like anything regarding this besides actually some kind of shift selection and shift queuing. So I'm kinda thinking that I'm gonna be having to look into the hotkeys directly if something got changed. And it's basically like overruling me. But yeah, the shift clicking definitely stopped working here for switching between the players, and it's a bit weird that you don't have it even in the hotkeys for the observing. Gonna have to look into if, because I have a video from somewhere start of when DE launched, if actually there was a hotkey for that in there, or if it's like a secret hotkey, let's say. No, that's not a good stuff for Mununez, obviously. So you're gonna be right about now sending a new one. It's just gonna be staying in the base. You can see right now going for the scouts. And that's gonna be the same idea, of course, for young Panda. Obviously, the Mongol with such a high surplus of food, he's gonna be very happy to rely upon that. And I do wonder when he's gonna be finally moving also to the side here. Because so far he's stuck on berries. And I kinda do know that he is, I mean, like, considering what kind of civilization he has picked up, I'm kinda definitely hoping that he knows what he's up to. And what he's into as well here with this map. What has he scouted actually? No, he knows about the elephants in the middle. And that's where he's gonna be trying to actually go. He doesn't know about the ones to the left. Aha! So he actually hasn't scouted properly enough. You can say now he's utilizing the junk rather to keep an eye on the villages where to raid, rather than to try and find some further food. So maybe he's... Whoa! Okay. I was gonna actually for a moment thinking he's gonna be even douching, but nah, that's not the case. He's just gonna send in 2 million villages onto the food here, into the mid. That's obviously gonna be quite a bit risky, but since he already does have some scouts to begin with, he probably is gonna be fine. So on the other hand, Mununez is gonna be going in to check out what's up. Be like, of course, to get that down, but wonder what kind of village is building it. Probably gonna be one of them. Kinda shift click on that after they finish the tree, but that's not gonna be... It's not gonna be necessarily enough and good enough, as we don't have any kind of upgrades yet for the cavalry. It's way too soon for that, but that's gonna be one kill. We have right now kiting going on, and of course plenty of idle time. But on the other hand, same situation is gonna be happening on the other side, where Mununez is at least ready with some spearmen. Plenty of them, to be honest. And I mean, like, this is gonna be a bit funny for the maneuvering. I was saying that this is gonna be difficult for wall-in, which it is, but it's also gonna be not entirely the easiest to kinda like run in with the horses and get some kills, especially if you're gonna be having spearmen everywhere. So maybe this is gonna be having somewhat of a double-edged sword situation, and there will be probably a bit more kinda like inviting for archers. But with what the map is, you are gonna be kinda less likely to actually go for the archers, but it might be somewhat like an unexpected angle that somebody could be surprised by, possibly. Okay, even some lions here. So, who knows? Maybe there's gonna be somebody trying to play the archer civilization here and just basically having a huge bonus of food on top of it. Okay, so you're gonna be getting wheelbarrow for Mununez. It's gonna be one of the things here going on. But you can say it now for the Mongol, for young Panda, having just the first wood. And seems to be kinda happy with that. 26 villages each. No problem there. And fairly high losses for Mununez. Already can see 7. As opposed to only 4 for young Panda. And it's kind of actually fun to see. Because, as I mentioned, Mununez should be the favorite here. But young Panda, or the young Panda, we have seen him playing for South Africa in the Nations Cup, for example. And also in some other tournaments. So, he definitely knows what he's doing. And you can see that maybe Mununez is kind of like slightly caught off guard by the very good civilization choice, I think, in for Panda, who is gonna be getting tons more food and tons quick food, much more importantly, and that's gonna be resulting even into him currently having 11 versus 10 military advantage. And of course, a bit of a melee fighting is also a possibility for him, right at the start of the engagement. I mean, like, sending the junk back, frankly, why not? If he's kind of thinking that he has scouted enough, then he's just gonna like send it in as a bit of a forced target, because it's gonna be still targeted, of course, by the cavalrymen. And hey Otter. And good luck in the tournament, by the way. You playing tomorrow? Somewhere over the weekend, right? You are playing, you posted the match in there if I'm not mistaken. But currently that's gonna be a bit of a sad story because all the military is gonna be gone for young Panda because he wasn't entirely accounting for all the spearmen coming up, and his own are gonna be coming quite a bit later, which at this point is not entirely ready for the Willy fight. As opposed to Age of Mythology, that this would have been a terrible one, and terrible one for the cavalry. They would have to run from this. But in Age of Empires 2, yeah, the situation is quite a bit different. I'm gonna have to see, because there is plenty of Age of Mythology and plenty of kind of like late notice Age of Mythology in the tournament, so I have to be commonly helping there. And tomorrow I think there are matches like 18, 19, 20 GMT or something along those lines, 19, 20, 21 probably. And I'm expecting there's gonna be something more, so not really sure if I'm gonna be having time. But maybe could be doing some recorded games on another occasion, who knows. But if I'm gonna be free, then I possibly could be casting you as well. It's also the round of 32, right? The first one. So best of 3. Same as this match. Yeah, so far only one round of 16 that we cast yesterday between Freakin and the Encelad Escape. Again, there was quite a bit of an excellent lagoon in there. Just apparently tournament started and starting with a banger in there. Oh well, that's not entirely all that necessary. I mean, like, thanks, but it's not really needed. I mean, like, if people wanted to watch the stream, I'm just gonna end the community long enough so that they will be able to find it, so I'm fine having it just here in case somebody randomly notices. And it's gonna be wanting to be maybe looking specifically for the Blue Carbon Cup in Twitch. They're gonna be able to discover it quite fine. But we are going to be just gonna like mostly doing somewhat like an archiving purposes, I guess, if it's not gonna be enough coverage. Because Mununez was asking if he can stream, so there could be some POV of his. Now I'm not certain if he is streaming in the end, but I know he was asking. So you're gonna be currently having what, 9 and 15. That's actually severe investment by young Panda. I wonder, especially with the investment being so low for Mununez, if there's going to be actually some kind of attempt on Castle Age. Nice quick call in here. Oh, young Panda coming from the other side. I'm thinking that so far it actually feels to me that Mununez is fairly kind of like taken aback how actually active Panda is and how well he's playing so far. Can see tower up blocking the gold. We're still gonna be having another gold mine possibly out of the range. And the next one is where actually? Because there are 3. Oh, there's the third one. No, that's actually kinda not too helpful. It's a bit more spawn, bit better spawn for young Panda. And so far you can see right now he's gonna be having 13-13. If you need to be switching into Mununez, who's gonna be apparently not really getting anywhere closer to advancing into the next age. I was kinda thinking that maybe it could be the case, but well, no, frankly, this game is very well started for Panda. Looking at the release, 37-33. It's still a bit of an edge for Mununez, and I think he's having a wheelbarrow as well. Yeah, he does. So that's basically 3 extra wheels. So he's having about 7 villager advantage because this was a massacre around the food, and it's maybe even more surprising that therefore young Panda is still able to play. But I guess Mongols 40% bonus actually kicking in. Oh, this is gonna not hurt. You can see the 3 spearmen camping there. But I'm fairly surprised that actually still young Panda hasn't discovered the hunt on the left. And therefore hasn't gone to it. I mean, like, we have already seen it before. He didn't scout this, unfortunately. But the maps, I mean, like, I have seen just like, this is the 3rd match I'm seeing from the tournament. But already the maps are really kind of nice. That they are somewhat open and therefore you can be raiding a lot. It's hard to wall here. So I'm kind of liking that. Yesterday there was one fun map like that. That was the Lensoa Maranhenses, or how's it called? Something along those lines. That was also quite a bit extremely open. So if it's gonna be like the theme with also the other maps, I'm gonna be all for that. As it's providing, as you can see, all kinds of activity across the map for everyone. And young Panda apparently also having the time and resources for the wheelbarrows, so that's gonna be just gonna at this point really 4 villages above for Mununez, as he's trying to reach Castle Age apparently. Looking at the resources. Areas for Panda, that's gonna be practically the same. Can say it about now, so it's not gonna be that much of a diff. And here the defensive tower, oh, somewhat making sense because he can't be reaching the gold. Mununez, he's having a serious problem with it. But unfortunately, it looks like that this is gonna be again the same problem right now for Panda as he did in the middle. And that he's just like underestimating the spearmen. He was having such a nice army, and you literally just need a few spears, and it's gonna be all going into crap. And this is, I already forgot what it's called, Okavango. This is Okavango, it's the first one. You can see 37 villages each. So that was at least some 4 villages destroyed, but looking at the army, oh yeah. Right now basically 19 versus 7. That was somewhat of a big mistake in there by Panda to commit into it. It's gonna be probably able to catch up with the raiders here. That should be somewhat fine. He was trying to get into better position so that they don't run away as easily. And therefore he has foregone like one hit in there, but just exactly at the last second Mununez noticed. Just at the last second, as all the way to the south, villages from the wall-in and wall-in tower-in rather are gonna be gone, and while Young Panda is actually trying to get into the heroic age, so therefore castle age, it's gonna be the gold secure for Mununez. And we are gonna be much more importantly seeing quite a strong military advantage currently for blue. And considering what we have seen in the other base, so very kind of like limited amount of walls and whatnot, then I'm really quite a bit afraid for him that he's gonna be suffering heavy losses on the wood line here in just a moment, and the castle age is not gonna be as much of an advantage as you would be possibly hoping. Yeah, the back wood lines are gonna be definitely helpful for Mununez, that is right. You can see even gathering the stone, so gonna be probably getting some castle even. Oh, I mean like that could be a castle, but he's not gonna be, of course, having the castle age itself, since he has really committed into the scouts now. It's a bit of an interesting game played in waves, kind of. It almost looks like the players are gonna be doing something and then they have to be spending resources for even staying alive and continuing with the gameplay. And suddenly all the predictions are gonna be completely off the table. But yeah, the missing wood lines for Panda are gonna be sad. He's on the other hand having a bit easier gold. That's gonna be nicer to protect. But the wood lines really do suck. And again, just can't stress how much of a shame it is that we can't be getting onto foot on the left side, because unfortunately Young Panda didn't scout that. And he apparently doesn't have that much of an appreciation of how the map spawns, and therefore doesn't know to look for it there. Because frankly, just like at the first sight, it feels to me that you should be kinda aware that the corners are gonna be very likely to hold something. And if he has already gone for the Mongols as the civilization here, then yeah, he kinda should have been looking around a bit more in my opinion. But Castle Age in, Young Panda immediately going for camels, so it probably should be fine against this. 1 and 1 and bloodies. The other side is gonna be having the same. Now considering how many actually group of elephants are here, you are gonna be well advised to kinda look practically everywhere. I'm not entirely certain if it spawns always in through corners, most probably not. But if you are gonna be having about 5 or 6 spawns like that across the map, and you basically see only 1 or 2, you probably should be looking for others in the places that you haven't scouted. So that's kinda like more how I'm kinda thinking about it, and how it usually works with the maps. Okay, that's a bit dangerous. 4 villagers. That's gonna be dead will, more, maybe even somewhere. But at least he's paying attention, so it's not gonna be as terrible. But he can't be just gonna blindly shift clicking them, unfortunately, because that could be resulting into some complete disaster. Yeah, I think this is gonna be a good time to prep. I mean, like the maps are, some of them have been used in previous tournaments. So, for example, typically Lagoon, right? That's something that we have seen multiple times, or at least I have seen it so many times in tournaments. So I kinda do know how it's played. Which was kinda even said yesterday between Salad Escape and Freakin' Andy. That especially Freakin' Andy just obviously had no clue how it's played. Which kinda provided also quite an excellent game. So if you want to be casting something, then the Lagoon from yesterday, recommend it. Gonna be having some good fun there. So yeah, just gonna be probably taking as usual a bit longer for the players to get acquainted with the maps. Some of them we might be knowing a bit more, but I guess it's gonna be mostly on preparation, because kind of like most of the names that I do remember here are actually playing the tournament. I don't think that they are kind of like regular participants of the other ones that I have, for example, streamed before, and therefore where I know the map from. But well, whatever the case. Okay, even Stonewall coming up. Pikemen are gonna be having also the first defense in place. Can say it now, Lancerino is gonna be still the same situation, no problem on them. Whoa, okay. Because you're gonna be having the raid into the top side, of course, yeah. It's kinda like focusing what's gonna be happening here to the bottom by Panda. And well, in the meantime, there was, of course, still a big raid to the top side. That was already in place. As Mununez, basically like what happened, I don't know, what was it? 15 minutes ago in the middle. Happened again, and now it's gonna be a bit too deadly. You can see 31 villages against 47, 31-25 military. And since practically all the units for Young Panda are on the other side, this is gonna be just like a free rain. You could buy right now the woodies. Town center would be, no, maybe barely finished. But again, not any kind of free base basically. And it seems like that exactly the backwood lines really did quite a bit help to Mununez, that he was able to basically stay really close to the base all the time. But well, let's not gonna call it only that, but really appreciated the Young Panda's performance in the match and in the game, and I think he gave Mununez a real serious scare, because at some times it looked like he was kinda on the ropes in there, Mr. Nunez. But nonetheless, he's gonna be getting the victory anyway. Now Young Panda is gonna be having to try on his home map, and that's gonna be, as we mentioned, Lagoon. That's what he has chosen. And we do have for Mununez, that was Delta, thinking. Yeah, Delta is for Mununez. So what kind of ups did we end up with? Economically fairly strong for Mununez. First line and Boso. Can see right now Horsey is still only 1-1, but at least the bloodlines and Husbandry in place, as he was investing also into the infantry. So couldn't be just having easily second defense. And for Young Panda, we are going to be on the Mongols. Just the wheelbarrow and wood. Didn't really need that many things, to be honest, with the huge bonus that he has on food for us, the Mongol. But you can see here, didn't have even, for example, the husbandry. And he was just like a bit underestimating the spearman in the early stages. He was playing a bit too hardcore on the scouts and just kind of like bit him in that fight here. And even just kind of like later, there was another fight there. He did get some wills, but the spearman handled him pretty easily. So looking into the post game, we are going to be probably not having anything extraordinary. You can see somewhat close still. Kind of weird icon here. Oh, that's gonna be from the Minecraft, right? Some pic. But we do have right now 1000, 18 to 8, 3.5, 3800 more resources for Mununez than for Panda. It's not that extreme, but it will be getting quite a bit stronger, the difference, because of the upgrades for Mununez, and of course Panda losing tons of villages on the food there. Okay, GG.